brighter than I expected. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm glad that I'm married. I don't think I could date. Online dating has gotten pretty fucking complicated. You gotta download a bunch of apps, and then you gotta put up a profile picture. 10 years ago, when you had the good hairline before it started receding, but that looks nothing like you today. You gotta make up a profile, a bunch of bullshit that you're interested in, unless your dick looks like a can of Pringles, in which case you just send out dick pics and you're good to go. But if that's not you, then you sit there and you wait for somebody to swipe right. And if they do, then you can start a text conversation. Or what I had back when I was trying to date girls, AOL Instant Messenger. That's right, the company that couldn't keep up with the times basically invented online dating. In fact, AOL was responsible for me losing my virginity. Y'all remember your first time? You're nervous the whole time, you're just thinking, oh fuck, I hope I don't come too fast. But what you're not prepared for is what my buddy JP had happen to him. First time he and his girl had sex, she says the worst 4 words you can possibly say to a man. Is it in yet? No. Crushed. He's like, yeah, it's in. Okay. Afterwards, he's like, bro, has that ever happened to you? I said, me? Fuck no. Now, is it because I have dick for days? No. At this point in my life, it would be 3 years before I had sex with a girl, so it was just physically impossible for that particular phrase to have been asked of me. And trust me, my hand always knew it was in. But no, before there was Bumble and Tinder and all these other apps, AOL Instant Messenger was how you carried on conversations with multiple girls and said shit that you would in no way, shape, or form ever say to an actual girl in person. At least I wouldn't. As my wife will gladly point out to anybody wondering, I have no game in the real world. But online, E-game is pimping. So one night, I'm chatting online with this girl, and she says, you won't come over and have sex with me. Now, I'm thinking this is just like every other stupid online conversation I've ever had, where I say some nonsensical shit like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you on an airplane, join the Mile High Club, baby. So I said, oh, I'll come over. And I'll spell it C-U-M, like every guy who's never been laid. But she wasn't kidding. In fact, she's taunting me. So what did I do? I took 2 shots of Crown Royal and jumped in the car. Now I know that's not the safest way to go about trying to get your dick wet the first time, but you have to remember that I have no game, which means no balls. So I needed that smooth drinking blended Canadian whiskey to give me the courage to calm my nerves and head over there. Plus, like I said, my biggest fear, I'm gonna fuck around and come too fast. Whiskey dick. That's like the polar opposite. I'm gonna fuck all night. So I pick her up and we head over to her sister's house because her sister wasn't home. Now at this point, we've been driving around for a little while, and as I said, I had a couple of shots, so I'm getting excited. And we get there, the front door's locked. She's like, we're gonna have to go around the back. You ever tried hopping a fence with an erection? I don't recommend it. The whole time you got one hand on the fence, one hand trying to hold your dick down, and you're throwing your leg over. The whole time you're just thinking, fuck, I'm gonna break my dick before I even get to use it. Anyway, we get inside, we get down to business. Now at one point she looks at me and she says, are you sure this is your first time? You're really good at this. Now, I'd like to say I had a cool face on when she said this, but I'm sure that wasn't the case because in my mind I'm thinking to myself, thank you, hand. So anyway, afterwards we cuddle for the appropriate amount of time, and I give her some line about, hey, I gotta cut the grass in the morning. I gotta go. So I bring her home, drop her off, and I head home to my parents' house. This is the summer in between freshman and sophomore year in college. I go back to school in the fall. I'm hitting her up. I'm coming home for fall break. And I'm confident now. I'm no longer a virgin. And this particular girl has already told me I was pretty good. So, shit, let me hit you up. So I send her a message. I'm like, hey, I'm coming in town for a week. We should get together. Again, C-U-M. And she's like, no. I was like, boyfriend? Question mark. She's like, no, I didn't tell you. I'm a lesbian now. The fuck? So I couldn't have been that good. For those of you keeping score at home, the scoreboard reads lesbians 1, Nick 0. So I call my buddy JP. You know, I'm looking for moral support at this point. I won't lie to you guys, my manhood took a hit that day, and I'm feeling a little down. And he says, I was like, dude, you know, we hooked up, you know, it was good. She told me I was good. Tried it again, and he's like, oh man, that sucks. You know, even if my girl couldn't tell it was in, at least my small dick got to fuck her more than once. Loser! And he hung up on me. That was fucked up. Yo, Dante, what's the time?
Yeah, 30 seconds left.
30 seconds. I'm just gonna fuck around with you guys for 30 seconds then, because that went quicker than I thought. Which, unfortunately, generally speaking, is how these things go.